Incoming, a 13-ton Russian space probe filled with toxic chemicals could be just weeks away from crashing to Earth. Reports Russian officials are admitting the chances are slim they'll be able to shoot this thing down. Another reason why former astronaut Gene Cernan's patience is now up. Assuming this doesn't hurt anybody, I hope it doesn't. You're saying your word because these are the guys to whom we've hitched our interstellar wagon, right? I mean, we get our rides to and from space with these guys, right?
Well, Neil, you know as well as I do, we've abdicated our role in space as far as controlling our own destiny. And I don't care who you are, there's failures that will occur up there. We're living up there in a very hostile environment. And one of the big differences, quite frankly, we spend more time, more money, but we build a lot more redundancy in our systems, whether they're unmanned or manned or whatever. We have no control of that anymore.
So if it weren't the Russians, I know, beggars can't be choosers. We're in the beggar role now in space. If we weren't hooking up with the Russians, who could or should we hook up with?
Well, I don't know that the Chinese want to give us a ride, but I think you can look forward to the next decade, and it isn't going to be us, unfortunately, who are back on the moon. I think the Chinese are going to be well on their way by then. And there's not a lot of shopping to do, Neil. There's nobody. We cannot put an American in space on an American piece of hardware, and we most likely won't be able to do that till the end of the decade. We wrestled leadership from the Soviet Union 50 years ago, and today we've turned around and just given it back.
You know, it's incredible you mentioned 50 years ago, and 48 years ago today, John Kennedy was assassinated. He, of course, famous for wanting to land a man on the moon before the 60s were out. What do you think he would say today about our predicament?
Oh, I tell you, John, we'll never know whether John Kennedy was a visionary, a dreamer, or politically astute. Neil, he was
all the above. Probably all the above, yeah.
Yeah, he was probably all of the above, but this is not what his vision was. If you read his statements, if you read what he said to Congress, if you read his speech as he delivered it at Rice University, why does Rice play Texas? That's what it's all about. He'd be rolling over in his grave. This president himself, I really believe, was a very astute, and really I believed he did want us to go to the moon and beyond. Do the other things is what he said. We not only haven't done the other things, we've given up everything we've already done.
But I guess the argument then, maybe not so much now, is it was like a national security kind of threat and almost a national drive to be the best. Now there doesn't seem to be that same sense of urgency, right?
Well, Neil, I tend to disagree with you. When America wakes up, and it may take a couple more years, we got a debt crisis, we got an employment crisis, we got other things on people's mind. But when they wake up and find out what we can't do in space and what other people are doing, because what we don't do today will be done by others. I think the American pride and Americans, it's not good enough to be just good. It's not good enough to be second best. That's just our culture, and I think this is going to turn around, but we're going to have to start all over because it's going to take too many years to recreate our capability. And it's very disturbing, Neil. We've made our case. I and a couple of my very prominent colleagues have made our case in front of Congress, and I think the Congress understands, but the inertia of the White House is so tremendous, it's just difficult to turn around.
All right, Gene, you're a genuine article and a genuine hero. Thank you, my friend. Always good seeing you. Great Thanksgiving.
Have a happy Turkey Day, Neil.
To you as well. Well, California.